Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Violence broke out in Leh today as protesters set fire to the BJP office and a CRPF van in the capital of Ladakh. At least 4 people were killed in the violence and a curfew was imposed in Leh. People had been on a hunger strike protesting peacefully for weeks, but protesters resorted to violence on Wednesday. While some termed it as a Gen Z protest, the BJP slammed the Congress for the chaos. Now, police fired tear gas shells and resorted to baton charges after a group of youths pelted stones amid a massive protest and shutdown. 4 people were killed and around 70 were injured. That is what the latest situation on the ground seems like. And this shutdown was called after 15 people who were on a hunger strike had to be shifted to a hospital as their health deteriorated. Now, Ladakh, as you all know, was carved out as a separate union territory in 2019 after the abrogation of Article 370 and the bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir. However, unlike Jammu and Kashmir, it was left without a legislature, placing the region under the direct central rule. Now, since then, Ladakh has witnessed several protests demanding statehood, constitutional safeguards under the sixth schedule, and greater local autonomy to protect its tribal identity and the fragile ecosystem. Now, this is what the situation on the ground is. I have been in touch with several people who are in Leh and Ladakh. There is an emergency meeting, what I'm told, and number of activists, student leaders, they are part of this emergency meeting, and which is why we were trying since evening to have somebody from Ladakh or Leh, but they have been unable to join. At certain places, the Wi-Fi connectivity has also got disrupted. That is another major reason why people are not able to join from Leh and Ladakh. So I thought of speaking to two prominent people who've been following this story very closely. Joining me this evening is National Conference leader and spokesperson Niloufar Masood. She's a lawyer herself. Thank you so much, Niloufar, for joining. And we have Sohail Kazmi, who's a veteran journalist and editor-in-chief of Jammu's leading newspaper, Daily Taskeen. Thank you so much, Mr. Kazmi, for joining. And I'll begin with Niloufar. Niloufar, what is the situation really on the ground? You've been tracking what's happening there very, very closely. What is the latest you're hearing? And this situation has been boiling for quite some time because we've seen waves of protests happening off and on. But why it got beyond control this time?
Nilu, if you remember 5th August 2019, when Article 370 was abrogated, we were given to understand that Ladakh is very happy with the abrogation of the Article 370. But unfortunately, the voice which we raised and the concern which we raised at that time as a party, that were never meted out, that were never heard. And those voices are very much clear today what is happening in the Ladakh. Number one, you know that they have been asking for the inclusion in the sixth schedule. They have been asking for the statehood, full statehood. They have been asking for the legislation. They have been asking for their tribal rights protection. They have been asking for autonomous status which should be given to them. But unfortunately, things escalated when two persons who were on the hunger strike, they were hospitalized, and people being frustrated by the outcome of the protest. They just things escalated, and then you have seen what happened today. This is very unfortunate, but the thing what has happened there in the non-violent way, we don't endorse this, because we as a people of Jammu and Kashmir have been also demanding for the restoration of the statehood, but we are not taking those resorts which will lead to violence, or which will lead to killings, or which would lead to some other things also which had happened in Ladakh. We are asking for those right in a very non-violence means. We have been asking government of India that you people own us, this is your duty. Now this is the time, this is the right time, that all our democratic rights which have been taken on 5th August 2019, that should be restored. But the thing is, whatever has happened there, nobody will endorse that in a way that has happened. But as our constitution is there, all those rights which have been taken from them, because it is injustice. You are separating a full state into two parts and then keeping one part without legislation, keeping other part with legislation. But even then, nobody is happy with whatever has happened on the 5th August 2019. And today's
No,
episode
tell
is
me,
very
no,
evident.
I want to ask you something. How fair are the demands of these protesters? Now, people have been saying that all the capitalists are trying to take mileage off the situation. They are trying to capture everything. People are not getting jobs. People are not getting their rights. And this is what exactly what we are hearing. Now, how fair are these demands? And people, the tolerance level, their endurance level, it seems has crossed a threshold. Why so? Because off and on, there have been people from the lay apex body, there have been people from the Kargil Democratic Alliance who've gone ahead and spoken to the center, but the center hasn't given them a very convincing reply. So is that the reason that now this endurance level has really crossed the threshold? What do you think was a breaking point, actually, according to you?
See, Nilu, they have been they have in fact held so many meetings with the government of India, which if you will see from highest level of office to the lowest level, they have been made to move from table to table by asking them, by giving them the assurances that after 6 months you will get it, after 1 month you will get it. But unfortunately, see, now 6 years have passed. This is the sixth year now, but nothing on ground has been done in their favor, so that it could justify that whatever promises they are making at the center, at the Delhi, that will be just implemented on the ground. Being frustrated by all this, they have done this, and it is only outcome. This is the outrack and the anchor which happened on 5th August 2019, that should be endorsed by the government of India. And whatever has been done, wrongly been done, unjustified, in an unjustified manner, all the democratic rights, be it Ladakh, be it Jammu and Kashmir, needs to be restored at very earnest. Because already you have seen 4 people have died, and there are so many people who are injured. Now people have been asked to be within their houses, don't come out, because of, you have seen that violent protests which have taken place. Even
Right,
one vehicle has been put to ablaze. So things have to be taken note of. This is not the
right.
question of capitalism or somebody wants to hijack the scene. This is actually the people of Ladakh which they are asking for, and this is their democratic
No, but
right.
you know,
How you can
I
keep once you are
right.
just alienating this Ladakh, and how can you keep without legislation? This is injustice to those people.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that without having a legislature over there, the things are bound to go beyond control. But Mr. Kazmi, I'll come to you now and then
Yes,
come back to Mr. Yeah,
Deal
I'll
is
come back to
not
you,
only the
Nilofer.
question of legislation, but is also have been asking for inclusion in the sixth schedule, where they are
Right.
seeking the protection of their tribal rights, of their lands, job security, and all that which was provided earlier by way of Article 370 read with 35A. These are the rights
Right.
which they are asking. That is why they
Yes.
want the inclusion in the sixth schedule.
Yes, I just want to put the things in perspective for the audience who is watching the program, that a group of people, which was led by climate activist Sonam Wangchuk, they have been on a hunger strike since September 10th. They were seeking talks with the center on inclusion of Ladakh in the sixth schedule, as well as for statehood. These are the two basic demands. Now, the next round of talks between the center and the representatives of Ladakh, including the members of the lay apex body and the Kargil Democratic Alliance, was scheduled for. The Indian Constitution provides for the administration of tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. And these special provisions grant these regions autonomy through autonomous district councils, allowing them to make laws on land, forests, and local governance. Now, who led the protest on Wednesday? That's a very important question. Now, the protests in Ladakh's lay over the demand for statehood and inclusion under the sixth schedule was spearheaded by the lay apex body, which is an amalgamation of various religious, social, and political groups. And activist Sonam Wangchuk, who has long advocated for the rights and development of Ladakh, is a member of this grouping, according to a September 10th report, which has appeared everywhere. Now, Mr. Kasmi, I'll come to you. That it's very clear they want a sixth schedule status, they want a statehood, but what is the reason why the mob burnt the BJP office today? The visuals are all across. People are saying that it's Gen Z which has spearheaded this kind of mob violence, which is seen at the BJP office?
First of all, good evening, Nilu ma'am, and my dear Nilufer's dear sister. Nilufer ma'am has already elaborated the viewpoint of the National Conference, the viewpoint of the Jammu Kashmir and the Ladakh. So nothing is left. But I must tell you, it is very unfortunate to hear right from the afternoon the whatever is happening in Ladakh. It's very unfortunate. It looks like that it was just an incident. Look like Nepal situation, because this is all what I can analyze. I talked to the Honorable LG of Ladakh. I talked to the Director General of Police of Ladakh, and they doesn't know what was the reason behind the this all eruption of all these destructions in Ladakh. But I must tell you honestly, the members who represented Ladakh last meeting with the Union Home Ministry at Delhi, and out of the 5-6 members, 2-3 names were deleted. Now, the meeting which is scheduled to be held on 6th of October at Delhi, Sonam Wangchuk and Nawang Ring Zora from Congress, their names have been deleted. That can also be one reason, but I can understand as a citizen of Jammu and Kashmir and previously Ladakh. Because
Mr. Kazmi, you're making an important point. You said that their names were deleted. They were supposed to have a meeting on October 6th. So were their names deleted, or was the meeting cancelled? Was that the trigger?
No, meeting was not cancelled. It is scheduled on 6th of October. I must tell you I want to add one more thing in that.
Yes.
Sonam Wangchuk, I've met him so many times, numerous times. He's an environmentalist, he's a social activist. Government has also allotted a certain piece of land for his NGO and other issues. Whenever you see that certain areas or certain union territories being very, in its own way progressing, as far as development is concerned, or as far as democratical institutions are concerned, certain fringe elements wanted to become the role models of that particular area or particular constituency. There are few people in Ladakh also, because Ladakh is not that Ladakh of 90s or 80s. Ladakh has its own unique identity now. No one can purchase land there in Ladakh now. Ladakh is totally maintaining its own legacy, its own culture, its own language, its own, essence. So many people in Ladakh, they are now, apart from the political parties, they want to become the real heroes of Ladakh. Now let us sit, as discussed with the Director General of Police, they are constituting a sit by the evening, and the sit probe will tell us all the stories of what actually prompted the youth to see this all what happened in Ladakh. So it's very unfortunate. And I think now the meeting scheduled to be held on 6th will be postponed due to this incident.
Are you also hinting at the fact that this mob violence could have been instigated? You said that this looks almost like a Nepal-like situation, and BJP also has been slamming the Congress, that Congress is responsible for this kind of a chaos. Would you say that Congress is behind these attacks or the mob violence which happened where they set the BJP office on fire? Who's behind all this? And like you were saying that you spoke to the DGP as well. What about the intelligence of Ladakh? Did they have any intelligence or prior intelligence on all this, that this kind of a situation could erupt in a matter of few hours?
Definitely, you are right. It's very premature to accuse this Congress party, because certain people were telling me from Ladakh that it was started by some BJP activists from BJP headquarters itself. So let the probe come, its finding reports come into the light, and we will discuss further the real who were the fringe elements who instigated this whole incident, and this all issue flared up within seconds, within minutes, and 4 people died and 71 are injured.
Yes. But in your knowledge, because you've been speaking to a number of people on the ground in Ladakh, have any arrests been made? Have they pointed out towards a particular group which is responsible? Do they hold the people of, the Leh Apex body or the Kargil Democratic Alliance responsible for this kind of mobilization of people?
No such arrest has been done as yet, as discussed by 5 p.m. But the probe has been initiated. The security agencies, especially the Ladakh police, is in action, swift action. And they were telling me that they are going to constitute, as LG was telling me that he's going to initiate a sit to find out the real findings of this whole incident. And
Okay.
let's hope what comes.
SIT. So the LG is going to constitute an SIT, you are saying, to probe the matter.
Yeah. He was telling me just at 4:30 p.m.
Okay. But if I may ask you, Mr. Kazmi, what is the latest situation on the ground? Has the internet been disrupted? Is the connectivity very low? Is there no electricity? What is really happening on the ground over there? Because I'm told that number of activists, student leaders, they are all huddled up in a meeting, and the situation is really bad. This is what I'm getting to know. But I want to know from you, what is the real situation on the ground over there?
The situation has been taken into control. The law enforcing agencies, especially the Ladakh police, has been swiftly taking care of the situation and the sensitive places of Ladakh. Meeting round of the meetings has been initiated by police, by the district magistrate, by the LG administration, who are looking after the affairs of Ladakh. And hopefully, situation is not going to flare up. But probe has been initiated. Let's see what probe tells us, and we will again discuss the matter. But things are fishy. Things are not good. Things are not good for the people of Ladakh, for the administrative skills of Ladakh.
Why do you say, Mr. Kazmi, why do you say that the things are fishy? I mean, are you suspecting at something? I'll come to Nilofer also on this, but why do you say that things are fishy?
Because there are so many reasons for that. First of all, politicizing certain things in Ladakh. BJP wants to take credit of many things which they have initiated in Ladakh since last 10, 11 years. Secondly, Congress also wants to take stake of certain things which in their governance has been initiated in Ladakh. So many issues, and many fringe elements who wants to, become the leaders of so-called movements. We can call it a movement, na? So let's see what happens within 2-3 days. The things will be discussed.
Right. All right. Now I'll come to Nilofer. Nilofer, since it's a border area, very, very close to the China border, is it really a big security threat? Like what Mr. Kazmi was saying, that fringe elements are quite active. Now, who knows that it could be sponsored by some other country? What kind of a security threat it is now when this kind of a situation has erupted in Ladakh?
I think, this is not the first time this China has been after the Ladakh from so many years, and we have seen their interference in the Ladakh area. And whatever has happened today in Ladakh, I think maybe there may be their hand, infringed hand can be there. It cannot be negated. That can be seen after the report comes from the inquiry, or whoever will in fact do the inquiry. That will be just seen after that. But the thing is, seeing the sensitivity of the Ladakh, it's very important for our country to think about it and take everything very seriously. And they after have taken it seriously from the day first, when the people had sat on the protest, they ought to have controlled it on the very day, because that it's already covered by the China, and they are already interfering in their personal matters, in their official matters. And we have been talks with the China also, and maybe there can be a hidden hand of that country also. That cannot be negated. The thing is, now DM has come up. He has given he has already initiated 163. No people can sit in the protest. Rallies have been banned, and people have been told not to collect at one place, so that they can raise any slogan against the country or use any such statement which can affect the peace. But the thing is, whatever demands have been made by the people of the Ladakh or Leh, who had been sitting in the protest, the genuinity is to be seen by our own country, because it is our country who has to finally decide, who has to finally restore the rights which have been taken up, so that the infringed elements may not get any chance to use the environment, to use this hostility against our country, because the area is very sensitive. We have been seeing it. So it is the duty of the foremost duty is to just have it very peaceful as it used to be. First, to get the peace back, then initiate the talks, which they have already said they will be initiating the talks. And number third thing, to see the genuinity of their rights, how that can be restored, so that things will be put to rest for all times to come.
No, but Nilofer, I want to come back to a very basic question. Since the time Leh and Ladakh, they were made into a UT when the bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir happened, since that time, people were promised a lot of things, and obviously those promises were not delivered. But what is the sense you get from the ground? Is the center
Not clear.
totally does the center totally seem to be alienated from what is happening in Ladakh? Because I know for sure last year, when this kind of a protest erupted, at that time also they were seeking a meeting with Nirmala Sitaraman and several other cabinet ministers. Apparently, they didn't get a satisfactory reply. Now again, we see another wave of protest. Is the center actually alienated from the situation in Ladakh currently?
I think the trust, there is issue of one trust also, because once you owe a state or you owe an UT, you need to hear to them. You have been engaged in the dialogue with the people of the Ladakh from so many years. And what is the outcome today? After 6 years, nothing has come out. So I think this is the frustration, and maybe even the infringe element can be there. That I have already said, that cannot be negated, because they have taken this thing in their favor and are using it against our own country. So the thing is that I again put the same thing before this forum, is that it is our country which needs to understand what actually the problem is, and that needs to be decided within the four corners of our own constitution. When somebody is asking for the restoration of democratic right within the constitution of India, what is wrong in it? So all things which have been taken from Ladakh, be it Ladakh or be it Jammu Kashmir, that needs to be restored. Why they have been taken on the 5th August 2009, and what was the reason of the protest when this has been very peaceful from so many years? Nothing like this have been ever heard, or we have never been given to understand such situation was there, that BJP offices were burnt, even the police vehicles that have been ablaze. So the thing is, whatever has happened, this shows that all those things which happened on 5th August 2019, that needs to be revisited again. Once those are not revisited, these things will go, other people will escalate, will get the chance to get escalated to such type of things. So the thing is, whatever has been taken, that needs to be restored in a very democratic manner, and our country has to be very sensitive in the matter, because the situation of Ladakh, we have been watching it from so many years, that there is some external force also which is involved in this matter and can be involved in this matter. So no chance is to be provided to them.
I'm just trying to connect to someone in Ladakh. I'm just sending the link and everything, and I'm while I'm doing my live, I'm also connecting with them on the chat so that I can get somebody on this particular program. Let me see if that person can join. But yes, sorry, there is the internet connectivity is bad. That same person, I was trying to get in touch with a counselor from Kargil, and while I'm doing my live, he is writing to me on the show that he's unable to join because of the internet disruption, and the electricity connection there itself is too bad. That's what he's telling me. And I was trying to get in touch with this person called Syed Abbas Rizvi, sorry, and he's the executive council of the LAHDC Kargil, but he's unable to join. I was trying to just giving it a try, that maybe if someone can join even for 5 minutes. But coming to you, Mr. Kazmi, now again, how do you think that the situation will be brought under control? And beyond control, is there now a scope for any kind of of people coming to the talking table, resolving the problem, silencing this issue by including this whole issue under the sixth schedule, and also according statehood to to Ladakh?
Nilu ma'am, Government of India is very serious as far as Ladakh is concerned since 1 decade. And they have invested hugely in Ladakh. As far as China is concerned, China is always there to incur in our land, in our airstrips, in our other areas of domain in Ladakh. So Government of India, and especially the government ruled by Bharatiya Janata Party, they are also very confident and very hugely investing and dictating certain things by a certain center sponsor
Center
schemes.
is certainly investing, but the center's investment, it seems, is in the wrong direction. The locals are angry that it is the outsiders who are getting more chance. People are saying, what the locals have been telling me, that it is the capitalists from outside who are coming and capitalizing on this land of Ladakh. It's not the locals. Locals are not getting
No.
any chance.
No, there. Somebody is misquoting you. I must tell you, I have been to
Okay,
Ladakh
continue,
not
Teargas,
once,
yes.
not once, but 20 times to Ladakh. And on certain occasions in 84, 88, 92, I have been seeing Ladakh when there used to be a hoarding at airport, no man's land. Come and settle down in Ladakh without paying any. Now today, the one marla of land in Ladakh costs rupees 10 lakh, and no one is allowed. Even you cannot move on a private taxi from Kashmir to Ladakh. You have to hire a taxi from Ladakhi, and he should be your guide and your driver. So Ladakh is totally changed, no, and they know now they know the manipulations also
No, but
from
is
Jammu people. They have
Ladakh
learned,
has
and
changed
they
so
have
much?
definitely.
Mr. Kazmi, let me
Thank
ask you this question. You are saying that if Ladakh has progressed a lot, people are getting a lot of opportunities, then why is there so much of anger? This anger, do you think it is misdirected? This anger is baseless. It has no base.
I don't
No,
think
it's not
in real.
directed.
Nilofer, I'll come to you. Let Mr. Kazmi answer this, and then I'll come to you. Yes, Mr. Kazmi.
Uh, I understand that the Ladakhi people have learned politics more than Kashmiri people and Jammu people. Now they want everything within no time, and by initiating certain things, hunger strikes and this and that, they will get immediate the results from whatever they want. But that is not the proper, प्रॉपर तरीकाकार नहीं है वो जो आप डेमोस्ट्रेट करते रहेंगे. लद्दाख आगे बढ़ रहा है, सड़कें बन रही हैं, अटल सेतु ब्रिज बन गया, 3 महीने कनेक्टिविटी से दूर रहता था लद्दाख, और आज लद्दाख जो है आप ठीक नहीं मार सकते हैं विदाउट देयर परमिशन. तो आपको वेट करना है, और बड़ी निटिग्रिटीज हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बिटवीन द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड द लद्दाख. सो लेट देम टेक टाइम एंड let your conferences, let your meetings result fruitful results.
Okay, so you are saying that there should be enough time given to the center to resolve the problems as far as the locals are concerned. Nilofer, I'll come to you. You were raising your hand. That is this a case of misplaced priority? Probably, the center is not giving that much priority to Ladakh, and which is why the people are boiling over there. People are fuming with anger, and which is why this thing is happening. And maybe center's priorities are something else at the moment.
See, I personally feel it is not the question of investment. Had the investment been made in the right perspective, then the youth that
Yes.
should have been tapped. But youths have come out in favor of the Sonam Wangchu, because they have favored him. They have told him that we are with you in order to show their solidarity. They also joined the protest. Then the youth should not have joined the protest, which means the anger is there because of their job insecurities, and there are other things also which are connected, like tribal rights and all that. And that was the reason of the anger, and that in fact is the reason of anger. They have been asking for the restoration of the full statehood with legislation. Then they have also been asking for inclusion in the sixth schedule. What immediately needs to be done, I think there are some steps which needs to be done. And first priority should be given to the confidence building measure, because once you develop the confidence with the people of the Ladakh, then only you can sit on a table and discuss
But
what actually can be
you look
done
at the situation,
immediately.
Nilofer. No, in Nilofer, there was already a talk which was scheduled with the center and
But
the Kargil
there has
Democratic
to be
Alliance in
outcome.
October. Yes.
Actually, it is not only the talk only there. It should be fruitful also. Something should come out of it. They have been asking for some strategies, some policies for them, but nothing has been done on the ground. It's not the question of the investment only. Now, why things have accelerated, and why we are providing chance to our enemy country that they should use that situation in favor of them. So all things are to be needed. Sense of belonging should be there, and it can come only when you just make out the way for those things. Interimly, something needs to be done. First of all, interlocutors should come here. They should talk to the protesters. What can be done? What favorable steps can be taken in their favor? And then in long term, explored things can be explored, how the statehood with the legislation can be restored, because they too are
Right.
a people. They too want the elected representation. In the long run,
Right.
it cannot be done that will be always led by the LG and their selected people. People want the
Right.
democratic rights. We
Right.
have been demanding also to have the election, but then you already have your two-tier system which is going on, and people are suffering on the ground. So the thing is, statehood is very important with the full legislation, so that people also don't feel neglected on the ground. Also, they will have their own elected representatives who will be doing something for them. So the thing is, this democracy needs to be restored, and their rights, which are genuine within the four corners of the constitution, they have to be heard, and heard in a positive and result oriented manner. Not that you are just giving the dates, on this day will sit. Now Ladakh autonomous hill body, that also needs to be much empowered. That is not
Right.
there. They feel neglected, they feel alienated. That needs to be addressed within the four corners of the constitution.
All right. So while I'm live, I've been speaking to a number of people on my WhatsApp chats during the live, but they are unable to join, and I'm really sorry we couldn't get anybody from the ground today. I've been trying since about 4:30 p.m. today that we could get someone, but 5 o'clock there was an address by Mr. Sonam Wangchu, and after that, everybody has got huddled into an emergency meeting. Now I'm not even aware whether that emergency meeting has got over or not, but somehow few people have been in touch with me, but they are unable to join for some reason. I'll take the concluding comments from you, Mr. Kazmi. So how is this situation going to come under control? You already said that a lot of it is already under control, but since it is not to the satisfaction of the locals, what if this kind of a situation boils again?
I think more people have to be included. Sonam Wangchu is one constituent for talks, but Sonam Wangchu doesn't represent the whole Ladakh. Many people from Ladakh, many intellectual people from Ladakh, like the 3rd October meeting, which is scheduled by the Government of India, Ministry of Home, with certain representatives who know the basics and who are going to represent the Ladakh issues in that meeting. I think broad-based meetings with broad-based people.
Mr. Kazmi, does the center find Sonam Wangchuk politically motivated?
I think Sonam Wangchu is not an environmentalist. No, he wants to be the coming chief minister of Ladakh whenever the democratic institutions will be restored in Ladakh. As far as my sister is talking that legislation.
All right, all right. So you've given the crux of the whole story. He's saying that Sonam Wangchuk wants to be the chief minister of Ladakh. But anyways, we'll keep a tab on what the situation in Ladakh is. But at the moment, the situation seems to be sensitive. And as I told you, even during my live, I was trying to get in touch with people, just thinking of a possibility that they might join us, maybe just for 5 minutes, but that couldn't happen because of the sensitive situation there. Meeting still, I'm told, hasn't got over. So let's see if there is some kind of a media address over there where we come to know what is really happening on the ground. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Mr. Kazmi. Nilofar, thank you very much for joining on the Federal. Thank you.
Thank you.